Imagine two friends, Alex and David. One morning, both wake up and see the same announcement. A brand new iPhone has just been released.
The internet explodes. Tech reviewers rush to upload videos. Social media is flooded with reactions. Within a few hours, Alex has already made a decision. He's going to buy it. David makes a different choice. He keeps the phone he already owns.
At first, Alex seems like the smarter one. But this story isn't really about phones. It's about something much bigger.
People don't buy products because they need them. They buy products because of how those products make them feel. A few days after buying the new phone, Alex feels great. But a few weeks later, the excitement starts fading. The phone didn't change. His perception changed. And that's exactly what happened to Alex. A few weeks ago, he was perfectly happy with his phone. Now, something feels different. Not because the phone stopped working, not because it suddenly became slower, but because everywhere he looks, someone is telling him there's something better. Advertisements, reviews, social media, day after day, video after video, post after post. The message is always the same. You're missing out. And over time, that message starts changing the way he sees his own phone. Suddenly, his old phone doesn't feel old because of what it can do. It feels old because of how it compares to everyone else. Think about it. The phone can still make calls, still take photos, still run apps. It can do almost everything it did a month ago. So what changed? The answer is simple. The phone didn't change. His perception changed. And this is where things become really interesting. Because companies aren't only competing to build better products, they're competing to shape how you feel. Think about advertisements. Most of them don't spend much time talking about processors or technical specifications. Instead, they show confidence, success, popularity, excitement. The message isn't, buy this phone. The message is, become this version of yourself. And that's a much more powerful thing to sell. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, but it's only a phone. And you're right. One upgrade doesn't change your life. One purchase doesn't make you rich or poor. But that's not the point. The point is what happens when a small decision becomes a habit. So let's fast forward 5 years. During those 5 years, Alex keeps upgrading. Every year, there's a new reason. A slightly better camera, a slightly brighter screen, a slightly faster chip. And every year, the decision feels reasonable. After all, it's only one upgrade. Then another. Then another. And before he realizes it, what felt like separate purchases has become a pattern. David takes a different approach. He upgrades only when he actually needs to. If something still works, he keeps it. Not because he hates technology, not because he can't afford it, but because he asks a simple question before spending money. Do I need this? Or do I just want it right now? And those two questions often lead to very different decisions. At first, the difference between Alex and David is almost invisible. A few $100s here, a few $100s there. Nothing dramatic. In fact, if you saw them after the first year, you probably wouldn't notice any difference at all. But money has a strange characteristic. Small decisions, repeated over long periods, create massive results. And that's when the gap begins to appear. The difference looked small. Until it wasn't. Because every dollar spent unnecessarily loses the opportunity to do something else. Maybe it could have been invested. Maybe it could have gone into savings. Maybe it could have helped start a business. Most people think spending money only costs the amount they pay, but that's not completely true. There's also the opportunity you gave up. And over time, those missed opportunities start adding up. Which brings us to one of the smartest ideas in modern business. Products don't need to stop working. They only need to feel old. Think about a car. A 5-year-old car can still drive perfectly. It can still take you everywhere you need to go. Yet many people suddenly want a new one. Not because the car stopped working, but because it stopped feeling new. The same thing happens with phones. The same thing happens with clothes. And sometimes the feeling of being outdated is stronger than reality itself. Of course, that doesn't mean upgrading is always a bad idea. Sometimes upgrading makes perfect sense. A photographer may need a better camera. A designer may need a faster computer. A content creator may genuinely benefit from new technology. The problem isn't upgrading. The problem is upgrading without a reason. Because one decision is driven by necessity. The other is driven by impulse. And that's why the real question was never about phones. It was never about Apple. It was never about technology. The real question was always this: who is making the decision? You? Or the emotions being triggered around you? Because the person who controls the decision controls the outcome. The next time a shiny new product appears and everyone starts talking about it, ask yourself a simple question. Do I really want this product, or do I want the feeling that comes with it? Because once you start paying attention, you'll notice that this isn't just about smartphones. It's about cars, clothes, shoes, watches, luxury brands, and almost every industry that competes for your attention. The product changes, but the psychology stays the same. A desire to feel newer, better, more successful, more accepted. And that's exactly what the world's biggest companies understand. They don't just sell products, they sell emotions. So here's the real question. How many of the things you own today were bought because you truly needed them? And how many were bought because someone successfully convinced you that you did? Because the answer to that question might tell you more about your spending habits than any bank statement ever could. Knowledge grows when it's shared. Subscribe, like, and share this video to help more people make better financial decisions. And if you'd like to support the channel, thank you for being part of the journey.